Okay, usually when we start one of these deep dives, I come prepared. I've got my highlighted articles, I've got the graphs, I've got the respectable stack of research
The
papers,
whole setup.
the whole setup. But today, I feel like I just found something on the floor of a subway car at 2:00 a.m. It's crumpled, it's weirdly sticky, and I'm not sure I should even be touching it.
That is actually a surprisingly accurate way to set the stage for this.
Right. I mean, look at this thing. It's titled L'Orlo della New Beat Generation, which translates to the Howl of the New Beat Generation. The source is listed as something called Radio-mannadoro, and honestly, reading it made me feel like I was losing my mind a little bit. It's aggressive, it's disjointed, and it looks like a ransom note to reality.
It does have that chaotic energy, doesn't it? But before you crumble it up and throw it away,
Yeah.
we need to talk about what this actually is.
Yeah.
Because you're right, it's not a white paper, it's not an essay.
It's not.
It's an artifact.
An artifact from where? Some forgotten corner of the internet.
From the noise. See, most sources we look at, they try to be clear. They want to explain something to you.
Yeah.
This text isn't trying to explain, it's trying to scream.
A howl. Yeah, it's in the title.
Exactly. But, and this is the key, and the reason we're spending an hour on it, it's not screaming with its own voice.
Yeah, I noticed that as I was reading through it, I kept hitting these snags. I'd read a phrase and think, wait, I know that song, or that's a movie quote, or that's from a Philosophy 101 textbook.
Yeah.
It felt familiar and alien at the same time.
Exactly. It's a collage. Or, to use a more modern term, it's a mashup. The prompt that came with this text was very specific, and this is crucial. Every word or phrase comes from a work.
Every single one.
Every single one. The author isn't writing sentences. They are stacking references. They are sampling reality. It's like a DJ set for the apocalypse. They're taking debris from pop culture, high philosophy, and cinema and gluing it all together to send a message.
Which is kind of terrifying if you think about it. It implies that maybe we've run out of original things to say.
Well, that's one of the big questions it raises.
That all we have left are quotes from The Matrix and old Italian proverbs.
Yeah, that is precisely one of the themes we're going to uncover. The idea that we are trapped in a loop of other people's words. But this text isn't just a random mishmash. It's not just noise. It has a very specific worldview.
Okay.
It covers cynicism, Gnosticism, which we'll definitely get into, the nature of language and, the end of the world. It frames reality as a war.
A war between what? Good and evil.
Not quite. It's more fundamental than that. It's a war between the word, which the text claims is a lie, a prison, a virus, and resonance or vibration, which it claims is the only truth left.
Okay, that sounds heavy and, frankly, a little abstract. So let's ground this. When I first read the opening lines, I thought, okay, we're doing fairy tales, but then it took a very, very sharp left turn.
Let's look at that opening. It's the key that unlocks the whole thing.
So, section 1, it starts with, "The king is not ashamed to be naked."
Stop there for a second. Let's just sit with that image. We all know the story, right?
Yeah.
The emperor's new clothes.
Sure. Hans Christian Andersen. Two swindlers convince an emperor they've woven him invisible cloth that only, smart and worthy people can see.
Right. A test of loyalty and intelligence.
So he walks out naked. Everyone pretends to see the clothes because they don't want to look stupid, until a little kid who doesn't know any better shouts, "He's naked!" And then, crucially, the emperor is ashamed. He knows he's been exposed.
Right. In the original fable, the power of the truth is that it brings shame. The moment the lie is exposed, the spell is broken. The emperor loses his dignity. But what does this text say?
The king is not ashamed.
That is a fundamental shift in how power works. Think about the world we live in now. If you expose a scandal, if you show that the king, the government, the corporation, the celebrity has no substance, what happens?
Usually, nothing. They just keep going. They might release a statement written by a PR team, but that's about it.
Exactly. They double down. This text is describing what you might call a post-shame reality. The king is walking down the street, stark naked, and he's looking you in the eye, daring you to say something.
It's a taunt.
It's a taunt. And even if you do shout, "You're naked," he doesn't care. The clown doesn't care. The shame mechanism is broken.
That's unnerving, because it means the old weapons don't work. You can't expose someone who flaunts their emptiness. The act of exposure has lost its power.
It suggests a power structure that is so entrenched, it doesn't need to pretend anymore. It's moved beyond the need for illusion. It's almost a taunt. Yes, I am naked. Yes, this is a sham. What are you going to do about it?
And the text immediately connects this feeling of exposure to a movie reference, a classic. It says, "The masks have fallen and beneath they live."
They live. John Carpenter, 1988. a masterpiece of social commentary disguised as a sci-fi action movie. Have you seen it?
It's been a while. It's the one with the wrestler, right? Rowdy Piper.
That's the one. He's this drifter, Nada, who finds a box of sunglasses. And the core concept is pure philosophy wrapped in a B-movie action flick.
It's brilliant.
So when he's not wearing the glasses, the world looks normal. Billboards advertising vacations, magazines on the stands, politicians giving speeches, money changing hands.
But when he puts the glasses on,
The color drains out. The wind becomes stark black and white. And the billboards don't say visit Hawaii. They say obey.
right.
The magazines just say, the money says, this is your God. And the powerful people, the ones in suits, they aren't people. They're these grotesque, rotting, skull-faced aliens.
So when the text says the masks have fallen, it's saying we are currently wearing the sunglasses, that we see the obey sign.
Or, and this is maybe even darker, that the sunglasses aren't even needed anymore. The facade is cracked so badly that you don't need a special lens to see through it. We can see the obey sign underneath the advertisement. We know the system is rigged. The they in they live are visible now.
But here's where I get stuck. If the masks have fallen and we can all see the aliens and the king is naked, why aren't we revolting? Why isn't everyone in the streets?
The text anticipates that question, and it gives a really, really dark answer. It says, they hide the horror with terror.
Hide the horror with terror. Okay, I need you to parse that. To me, horror and terror are just, synonyms for being scared.
In casual conversation, sure. But in philosophy and literary theory, there is a massive distinction. Stephen King has a great essay on this.
Oh, interesting.
Think of terror as the active fear of a specific external threat. It's the suspense. It's the sound of footsteps coming up the stairs. It's a bomb threat, a gunman, a virus, a financial crash. Terror triggers your fight or flight response. It's immediate. It's high adrenaline.
Okay, so terror is the jump scare.
It's the lead up to the jump scare and the scare itself. And horror.
It's a horror.
Horror is existential. Horror is the slow, dawning realization that reality is fundamentally wrong. It's the feeling you get when you see the monster and you realize it's wearing your own face. It's the understanding that you're in a simulation, or that the universe is indifferent to your suffering, or that the king is an alien. Horror is a slow, creeping dread that undoes your sanity.
So horror is the deep underlying truth, and terror is the distraction.
Precisely. The text is arguing that the system, the naked king, the aliens, intentionally generates a constant stream of terror to keep us from facing the horror.
Give me an example.
Okay. The horror is that our economic system might be an unsustainable consumption machine that's destroying the planet. The terror is the daily stock market fluctuation, the fear of losing your job next week, the headline about inflation.
Right, so you're so busy worrying about the terror of your bills that you don't have the mental space to confront the horror of the whole system.
Exactly. If you are constantly terrified of the next news cycle, the next scandal, the next crisis, you are too busy panting and panicking to look at the deep, structural horror of your own existence.
That makes a terrifying amount of sense. It's like, don't look at the man behind the curtain, look at this explosion over here.
And it works. It keeps us in a state of high anxiety but low awareness, which leads directly to the core command the text identifies. Consume and be consumed.
That's a bleak little loop. Consume and be consumed. It sounds like an Ouroboros.
It is the Ouroboros, the snake eating its own tail. In this system, you think you are the consumer. You buy the phone, you watch the show, you eat the food. But the text argues that by participating, you are actually being consumed. Your attention, your data, your life force, your very soul is the fuel.
It reminds me of that saying, if you're not paying for the product, you are the product.
It's that, but tranked up to a metaphysical level. It's not just your data, it's your essence.
Yeah.
And the text claims this system completely obliterates traditional morality. Listen to this line again. There are neither just nor good, only assholes and idiots.
Wow. Okay, that's cynical.
It is. But think about the logic it's presenting. If the system is a machine designed for consumption, you only have two possible roles. You can be the asshole, the one turning the crank, exploiting others, winning the game, consuming others, or
you would be the idiot, the one being consumed, the one getting ground up in the gears.
And in that binary, there's no room for a third option. There's no room for a good guy. Being good just makes you a more naive idiot, an easier meal.
The text reinforces this too. It says, all guilty, no guilty, all victims, no victims.
Yes.
I struggled with that part. All guilty, no guilty. It sounds like a riddle.
It's about the complete diffusion of responsibility. Think of it this way. If everyone is participating in the system, If we all buy the cheap clothes made in sweatshops, if we all use the phones built with conflict minerals, then in a way we are all guilty. Our hands are dirty.
Right.
But because everyone is doing it, and there's often no practical alternative presented to us, we feel no guilty. It becomes baseline. It's just the way things are.
So it washes away individual accountability. If everyone is a villain, no one is.
Exactly. It creates a moral flatline, a numbness.
Yeah.
And that numbness is what allows the boiling frog scenario to play out.
Ah, yes. The run lights. The boiled frogs.
It's a cliche, I know, but it's a cliche for a reason. It's powerfully descriptive.
I feel like we use this metaphor so much we forget what it actually means. Can you give us a quick refresher?
Of course. The premise, which is probably not biologically accurate but works as a parable, is this. If you drop a frog in a pot of boiling water, it jumps out immediately.
Instinct. Survival.
Its nervous system screams, danger, and it reacts. But if you put that same frog in a pot of tepid, comfortable water, and then you slowly, gradually turn up the heat 1 degree at a time.
The frog just hangs out. It adapts.
It relaxes. It doesn't notice the incremental change. The water gets a little warmer, then a little warmer still, until it's literally boiled to death without ever realizing the danger.
And the text links this explicitly to the news cycle, right? It says, every day a scandal until no one is scandalized anymore.
That's the temperature rising. Think about the last 5 years, or even 10. Things that would have ended a political career or toppled a government 20 years ago are now just Tuesday.
Yeah. You see a headline that says, world ending in 10 years, and you just keep scrolling to find a cat video. The capacity for outrage is finite.
That is the state of the boiled frog. You are so overstimulated, so bombarded with constant terror that your ability to be shocked has been burned out. Your nerves are fried. You are cooking, but you're too numb to jump.
That's depressing.
It is. But the text argues that this numbness isn't accidental. It's a product of the very tool we use to process reality. And this brings us to section 2. The deepest, weirdest part of this rabbit hole.
The prison of language.
Yes. This is where we go from social commentary to something much stranger.
This is where the text goes from being a rant to being like a full-blown work of Matrix-level philosophy. It starts attacking the very words we were speaking right now.
It does. It opens with this absolute statement. Every word is a lie regardless.
Hold on. Every word is a lie. Yeah. That seems self-defeating. I mean, the author is using words to tell us this. It's a paradox.
It is a paradox. And that's the central tragedy of the text, which we'll come back to. But for now, let's just follow the argument. Why would a word be a lie?
I don't know. If I say this is a microphone and I'm speaking into a microphone, that feels like the truth.
The author of this text would argue it is a lie. Because the word microphone is just a sound. It's a label. It's a box. It is not the thing itself. It's not the cold metal, the specific frequency response, the memory of what you've said into it.
So a word is a simplification.
It's a massive simplification. As soon as you label something, you reduce it, you strip it of its infinite uniqueness and file it away in a pre-existing category. You filter it through a system of meaning that someone else created.
So language compresses reality.
The text would say language hacks reality. It explicitly states the logos is hacked from the beginning. The logos is the matrix.
Okay, we need to define logos. I've heard it, in religious context. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. That's logos, right?
That's it. In Greek philosophy and Christian theology, logos is the divine reason. It's the underlying structure of the universe. It's the logic that makes sense of chaos. It is usually seen as the ultimate good, the ultimate truth.
But this text says the logos is the matrix. It's the prison.
This is pure, unfiltered Gnosticism.
Gnosticism. Okay, give me the 30-second version. I know it's more complicated than that, but...
The quick and dirty version is this. Gnosticism was an ancient religious movement with many variations. But a core idea was that the true, ultimate God is pure, distant, and unknowable. And the world we live in, this physical, material world, was not created by that God.
It wasn't. Who made it then?
It was created by a flawed, arrogant, lesser God called the demiurge, a cosmic imposter who thinks he's the one true God, but he's really just the warden of a material prison.
So the world is a mistake, or a trap.
A trap. And the text takes the famous line from the Gospel of John and twists it. It says, someone said in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with the demiurge.
Whoa, so it's saying the word, language, logic, structure isn't divine. It's the software code written by the bad guy.
Exactly. It views language not as a tool for connection, but as a control mechanism, the ultimate virus. If you control the language, you control the thought. If you control the thought, you control reality.
It connects to that line later on. I can speak, you cannot. I am right, you are wrong.
That's the hierarchy of the logos. The demiurge, or the system, or the algorithm, or the state dictates the terms. It defines what is true and false. You don't get to create new meaning. You just select from the menu they provided.
It's like a multiple choice test where all the answers are wrong, but you have to pick one to continue.
A perfect analogy. And notice the clever, aggressive wordplay the text uses to prove that language is inherently violent. Word, sword, war.
I love that. It's so simple, but it lands so hard.
It's visual. You take the word, you add an S to the front, you get sword, the tool of violence, you scramble the letters of word, you can almost see war. The text is saying, look at the DNA of the language itself. It's built for conflict. It's built to divide and to cut.
Which leads to the blunt declaration. Communication does not work.
It doesn't. Which feels true sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You get on social media, everyone is using words, millions of them, but is anyone actually communicating? Or is it just noise and conflict?
It's mostly conflict.
Because according to this text, the word was never meant to convey truth. It was meant to enforce dogma. Hypocrisy is dogma, it says. The rules apply to you, not to the one who made the rules.
Okay, so if the word is the lie, what is the truth? If we strip away the logos, if we get out of the matrix, what's left?
The text has a very biological, very earthy answer to that. After dismissing the word of the demiurge as pala, which means lies or nonsense, it offers its own creation myth. It says, in the beginning were the balls.
I'm sorry, did you say the ball?
I did. The Italian word is pali. Now, we have to unpack this because it's a brilliant, crude, and profound double entendre. Pali literally means testicles.
Okay.
So it implies a source of life, courage, raw biological power, primal energy. It's replacing the sterile, abstract word with something messy and alive.
So in the beginning was the biology, not the theology.
In a way, but pali is also the common Italian slang for lies or bollocks, as in, that's a load of balls.
So it could be in the beginning were the lies.
It's both at once. It's this beautiful, ambiguous punk rock gesture. But the key is what follows. It says, in the beginning were the balls, and they vibrated by resonance.
Vibrated by resonance. That feels completely different than spoken by words.
It's the opposite. A word is a specific defined thing. A vibration is physical. You feel it in your chest. A frequency, resonance. The text frames this as the original pure state of the universe. A hum, a feeling, no labels, no boxes, just pure, unmediated connection.
And then the word came along and messed it all up.
The text claims the word has corrupted the pure frequency. Think of it like this. You're at a concert. The bass is hitting you in the sternum. You and everyone in the crowd are moving as one. You are one with the music. That is resonance.
Okay, I'm with you.
Then the music stops, and a music critic with a notepad comes over and starts explaining to you why the song was effective, that it was in B-flat minor, that it used a 44-time signature.
The explanation kills the vibe.
The explanation is a cage. The text wants us to go back to the resonance, but it knows we are trapped in the word. It says, the logos is prison.
This is a lot to take in. We've gone from naked kings to Gnostic demons to the physics of sound. My head is spinning.
I told you, it's a deep dive. It's a howl, not a lecture.
But the text doesn't stay in ancient philosophy, which is what's so jarring about it. In Section 3, it crashes right back into the present day, or at least into the video store. It starts using movies to describe this prison.
We return to the sampled life. The text realizes that modern humans can't necessarily grasp ancient Gnosticism, but they can understand Netflix. It uses our own culture as the evidence for its claims.
And it kicks off with a big one. It calls our reality a Mega Truman Show.
The Truman Show. 1998, the brilliant Peter Weir film. Jim Carrey as Truman Burbank, a man whose entire life since birth has been a meticulously crafted reality TV show.
But he doesn't know it.
He has no idea. Everyone he knows is an actor, his wife, his best friend. The sun is a giant lamp. The sky is a painted wall. It's a perfect, safe, controlled, and completely fake reality.
So when the text says Mega Truman Show, it implies the scale is total. We are all Truman. We are all performing for a hidden audience.
An audience that might not even exist, or maybe the audience is the demiurge or the algorithm. It's that feeling of performative living.
Yeah.
That pressure to curate your life for public consumption. If I didn't post it on Instagram, did it even happen?
We are scripting our own lives within the set they built for us.
Exactly. But then the text offers a stark contrast. It compares the clean, safe prison of the Truman Show to the chaotic world of Twin Peaks.
Firewalk with me. David Lynch.
Yes. Now, The Truman Show is clean, bright, safe, and fake. Two Peaks is dark, confusing, violent, terrifying. But the text argues it is somehow truer.
It says there was more truth there in the fire than in this Mega Truman Show. How can horror be more true than a perfect life?
Because in Twin Peaks, the fire represents a destructive, but also a revealing and purifying force. It's the chaos of genuine emotion, of pain, of love, of terror. It burns away the polite facade of the town. The text is saying, give me the authentic horror of the fire over the fake safety of the Truman Show.
It wants the resonance, even if that resonance is a scream of pain.
Yes, because the fire is real, the studio set is a lie. It's better to be in a real hell than a fake heaven.
The text then throws in this line, the star of betrayal shines, have you seen the Death Star?
Again, look at that collage effect. It's mixing the mystical and biblical, the star of betrayal, like a dark star of Bethlehem, with pure pop culture.
The Death Star from Star Wars.
Which is the ultimate symbol of technological terror. A machine that destroys organic life, that silences planets, is linking the sense of cosmic betrayal with cold, hard technological domination.
And then it grounds all this sci-fi and mystical stuff in a very specific place. It mentions Mama Roma.
This is where the Italian roots of the text really bleed through. Mama Roma is a 1962 film by Pier Paolo Pasolini.
I'm not familiar with him.
Pasolini was a poet, a filmmaker, a fierce public intellectual, and he hated, absolutely hated, what post-war consumerism was doing to Italy. He believed that the new fascism wasn't soldiers in black boots, it was the seductive power of consumer goods destroying the soul of the people, erasing local cultures.
So referencing him is a kind of shorthand for that idea of the soul is being sold for shiny new things.
Yes. The text is channeling Pasolini when it asks, whose fault is it? And then, in one of the most jarring transitions in the whole text, it jumps from Pasolini's neorealism to Stanley Kubrick's dystopia.
Money, honey, and silver wine poured in spaceship drogues.
I love this line because it is so dense and so violent. Money, honey sounds like a 50s pop song, something sweet and innocent. Silver wine sounds like luxury. Spaceship is high-tech, futuristic, and then droogs.
Droogs is the slang for the gang members in A Clockwork Orange, the young men who drink drug-laced milk and then go out and commit a bit of the old ultra-violence for fun.
It's the ultimate juxtaposition of high culture and barbarism. In the movie, the main character, Alex, listens to Beethoven while committing horrific acts. The text is accusing our entire society of being exactly that. We have our spaceships and our tech, we have our silver wine and our wealth, but morally, we are droogs.
We're savages in nice suits.
Savages who have commodified everything, even our own savagery. Money is the icon, the text says. We don't worship God or truth, we worship the transaction.
And when you stack all these up, The Truman Show is our fake reality, Twin Peaks is the hidden horror beneath, and Clockwork Orange is our gilded violence, you get a picture of a world that is fundamentally broken. Which leads us to the end, the final section. The game over scenario.
The language shifts again here. It stops being cinematic and starts being digital. The references get shorter, faster.
It says, stop the signal.
That's a plea. It's desperate. If the word, the logos, is a broadcast, a signal beaming into our heads from the Demiurge's radio tower, the only way to save yourself is to cut the feed. Unplug.
But then it goes into arcade mode. Fight. Perfect. What? Game over.
You can hear the sound effects, can't you? The announcer from an old fighting game.
Totally. It sounds like Street Fighter 2 or Mortal Kombat.
But think about the sequence. Fight. That's the call to action, the struggle of life. Perfect. That's the moment of victory, the KO, the instant you think you've won, and then immediately, with no transition, what? Game over.
It's so abrupt, so dismissive.
It trivializes the entire human experience. It suggests that all this word-sword war, all this cultural angst, all this struggle, is just a game. It's a rigged game. You might win a round, get that perfect, but the house always wins. The screen goes black.
It frames life not as a biological journey with meaning, but as a simulation to be failed. And the sign-off, my God. Happy Kali Yuga to everyone.
The cherry on top of the nihilistic sundae.
Okay, you have to define Kali Yuga for us.
It's a concept from Hindu cosmology. In this worldview, the cycle of the universe is divided into 4 massive ages, or yugas. We start in a golden age, the Satya Yuga, an age of truth and purity. And with each subsequent age, the world degrades.
And the last one is?
The final age, the one we are in now, according to the tradition, is the Kali Yuga. It is the age of conflict, the age of darkness, the age where virtue collapses, greed and anger are rampant, and spiritual truth is almost entirely lost.
So it's basically the apocalypse, but in slow motion.
It is the age of maximum entropy and discord. So when the author signs off with Happy Kali Yuga, it is dripping with the blackest sarcasm imaginable. It's like standing on the deck of the Titanic as it snaps in half and saying, "Have a lovely swim, everyone."
Laughs. It's that dark humor again. It's complete resignation.
But there's one last detail before that sign-off. The string of nonverbal commands. The hand gestures.
Oh, right. The emojis. It doesn't write them out. It describes them.
This is so important. Remember the core argument. Words are lies. The logos is the prison. So how does the author sign off? Not with words, with gestures, with pure pre-linguistic attitude.
Let's go through them. First is the rock-on sign.
The devil horns. Rebellion. Rock and roll. A sign of defiant energy.
Again, thumbs down.
The gesture of the Roman emperor in the Colosseum. Kill him. It's an act of condemnation, a rejection of the performance.
Then pinch, which I wasn't sure about this one, like your fingers are close together.
In Italy, this could mean many things. A little bit. Or it could be the gesture for a violin like, "Boo, what a sad story," which would be deeply sarcastic. But I think it implies we are this close to the end.
And then the most Italian one of all, Italian hand gesture.
The pine cone. Fingertips all bunched together, hand waving back and forth. Much of why? What do you want? What is this? It's the ultimate gesture of questioning reality, of expressing frustration with the nonsense you're being shown.
And finally, the most universal one, middle finger.
Universally understood. The ultimate rejection. The final no to the system, to the demiurge, to the whole Mega Truman Show.
So the text ends by rocking out, condemning the world, questioning its reality, and flipping it off.
It's a silent scream. A sequence of pure defiance that bypasses the corrupt logos. It's all attitude.
Which brings us to the big synthesis. Section 5, we've torn this text apart, we've looked at the movies, the philosophy, the slang. But what is Radio-mannadoro actually trying to tell us? What's the Urlo, the Howl, about?
Radio-mannadoro frames itself as a pirate signal, a ghost in the machine. In a world saturated with the official broadcast of the word, this text is the static, the interference, the howl, and it titles itself L'Urlo della New Beat Generation.
The New Beat Generation. That's a clear reference to the beatniks, Kerouac, Ginsberg, Burroughs, the people who rejected 1950s conformity.
Right. The original Beat Generation howled against consumerism, war, and spiritual emptiness. But this New Beat Generation, they aren't in jazz cafes writing poetry. They are trapped inside the simulation.
So the New Beat is about survival inside the Matrix.
It's about awareness.
Yeah.
It's about the horrible, liberating moment when you put on the glasses from They Live. It's about realizing that the king is naked. But there's that tragic twist we touched on at the very beginning.
The collage, the fact that nothing is original.
Yes. The original beat poets tried to create a new language, a spontaneous, authentic prose. This new beat author, in their very method, is arguing that no new language is possible. We are so hacked by the logos, so saturated with media, that we can only speak in quotes.
We can only scream using other people's voices.
Precisely. Remember the note. Every word or phrase comes from a work. We are echoes. This text is a desperate attempt to say something real using the fake bricks of the prison wall.
That's heartbreaking, actually. It's like trying to write a love letter using only words cut out from junk mail and legal disclaimers.
That is a beautiful and terrible image.
Yes.
That is exactly it. The form is the message.
So is there any hope in this text, or is it just game over and happy Kali Yuga?
The hope, if you can call it that, is not in any idea or word. It's in the resonance. The text keeps returning to raw, physical, unmediated experiences. Fire, tremor, vibration. These are things you feel in your body, not things you understand with your mind.
So the only advice it offers is stop trusting the words. Start trusting the vibe.
In a way, yes. If the word is the virus, then the Urlo, the scream, the howl is the immune response. It's not an argument. It's a raw, biological, emotional rejection. It's the hum of the universe trying to break through the static.
I feel like I need to go sit in a quiet room and just listen to the hum for a while. This has been a lot.
It's not a bad idea. We are drowning in words, drowning in signals. Maybe we all need a little more resonance.
This has been intense. We usually end with a takeaway, but this text seems to resist neat takeaways. It feels more like a warning shot.
It's a slap in the face. It's designed to be uncomfortable. It's trying to wake you up from the consumer trance. It's asking you, the listener, are you speaking or are you being spoken? Are you living your life or are you just watching your role in the Mega Truman Show?
And that is a question that's going to haunt me for a while.
As it should.
Before we go, I want to leave everyone listening with one final thought. A bit of a meta thought, really. The text says, stop the signal. And right now, we are broadcasting. We are part of the signal.
We are using the logos. We are, by the text's own definition, part of the problem. We are guilty.
Laughs nervously.
Yeah. So maybe the most radical thing you can do after listening to this is turn it off. Turn us off. Go find some silence. Go find the fire that the text talks about.
Or at the very least, look squarely at the king and admit, just to yourself, that he's completely and utterly naked.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you for taking this strange, fragmented journey with us. It's been a trip.
A bad trip, perhaps, but a necessary one.
Happy Kali Yuga, everyone.
Happy Kali Yuga.